One morning, a small town woke up to a surprise on every doorstep, and nobody knew who started it. But within 7 days, that one quiet act turned strangers into family and changed a place everyone had already written off. If you've lived long enough, you've seen this world get louder, faster, and somehow lonelier. People rush, heads down, doors locked, hearts guarded. But every once in a while, something rare happens. A town doesn't get saved by a politician, a big company, or some fancy project. It gets saved by ordinary people, doing something simple, and doing it together. Today, I'm taking you to a forgotten town that learned a life lesson many of us only learn the hard way. Real wealth isn't what you keep. It's what you pass on. The town was the kind of place you'd drive through without noticing. A few empty shops, a dusty main road, a diner that still had a bell above the door, and houses where the paint had started giving up. People weren't bad, not at all. They were just tired. Tired of bills, tired of bad news, tired of seeing neighbors move away one by one. And over time, something invisible happened. Not a storm, not a disaster, something quieter. People stopped asking for help, because asking felt like weakness, and offering felt like trouble. So everyone did what they could, alone. Then one evening, something small happened. So small most folks would have ignored it. An older man, everyone called him Mr. Amos, walked out to his fence and saw a chunk of it leaning like a tired shoulder. He stood there for a long time, rubbing his hands together like he was trying to warm up something deeper than his fingers. He didn't have the money to fix it, and he didn't want to bother anyone. So he did what many proud people do. He sighed and started trying to fix it himself. The next morning, Mr. Amos opened his front door and froze, because the fence was fixed. Not halfway fixed, not patched, fixed properly. Straight lines, strong posts, fresh boards. And nailed neatly to one of the posts was a little note on plain paper. "We all lean sometimes. You don't have to." No name, no signature, just that. At first, he looked around like somebody was playing a trick, but nobody was laughing. In fact, the town was unusually quiet that morning. The kind of quiet that feels like something is listening. He went down to the diner and mentioned it, trying to sound casual, like it didn't matter. But the waitress paused mid-pour, and a man at the corner booth said something that made the room go still. "That happened to me too. Last month. My porch step got fixed." Same kind of note. Then another voice. "My mom's groceries were on her kitchen table when she woke up." And another. "My tire was replaced. I thought I was losing my mind." One by one, people started realizing it wasn't a one-time thing. It was a pattern, a quiet kindness moving through town like wind. And the strangest part? Nobody could prove who started it. That's the thing about real generosity. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need a camera. It just needs a heart that says, "I see you." The next days were different. Not dramatic, not perfect, just different. A woman found her front yard cleaned after her husband passed away. A young dad got an envelope in his mailbox with a note that said, "For school shoes, no need to pay back, just pay forward." Someone repaired the broken streetlight near the bus stop. And that one streetlight did something bigger than it should have. It made people feel safe again. Then something happened that nobody expected. The kindness stopped being mysterious. It started becoming contagious. Someone at the diner started a coffee list. People could pay for an extra cup, and the next person who looked like they needed a little warmth would get it, no questions asked. The hardware store owner put a box on the counter. "Take what you need, leave what you can." At first, folks were suspicious. Some people even laughed like, "Yeah, right, this won't last." But then it did. Because the town wasn't being fixed by money. It was being fixed by trust. And trust is the one thing you can't buy. You earn it. one decent moment at a time. Of course, not everyone liked it. There's always someone who thinks kindness is a trick. A man named Doyle, the kind of guy who always had a complaint ready, said out loud, "People don't do things for free. There's always a catch." And plenty of folk silently agreed. Because if life has taught you anything, it's that disappointment can train you to expect the worst. So the town had a test. A real test. A hard winter week rolled in. Pipes froze. Cars wouldn't start. Work hours got cut. That's usually when generosity disappears. Because fear makes people clutch what they have. And the town waited. Would the kindness stop now? It didn't stop. It multiplied. One night the power went out on the coldest evening of the season. No heat, no lights. Families huddled under blankets and stared into dark rooms. Then, one by one, porch lights started turning on across the street. Not from the grid, from generators. And the people with generators ran extension cords across sidewalks like lifelines, knocking on doors. "Come plug in your heater. Bring your food over so it doesn't spoil. Sit with us. We've got soup." And then came the moment that turned the whole town inside out. At the center of town stood the old community hall, closed for years because repairs cost too much. That night, its doors opened. Inside were lanterns, warm drinks, blankets, and chairs set up like somebody had been planning this. On the wall was a sign made from cardboard and marker. "Nobody freezes alone." People didn't just feel helped. They felt remembered. And for a town that had been slowly disappearing, that feeling was everything. The next morning, when the power finally returned, someone noticed something taped to the hall's front door. A simple list. Not of names, not of donations. A list of what was done. Hall opened. Soup made. Cords shared. Blankets delivered. Elders checked on. Kids kept warm. At the bottom, one last line. "We are not rich. We are just together." And that's when people understood the real secret. There wasn't one hero. There wasn't one generous person saving the day. The town had become a chain, and every link mattered. Here's what older generations learned, and what the modern world keeps trying to forget. A community doesn't die when money runs out. It dies when people stop caring. Kindness is not soft. Kindness is not naive. Kindness is a survival skill. It's the invisible glue that holds families together. It's the reason neighbors become protectors. It's how a forgotten town becomes a home again. So if you're listening to this and thinking, "Yeah, but I'm just one person," let me tell you something true. The first kind act is always small. A call, a meal, a ride, a note, a repair, a simple, "I've got you." But small acts don't stay small. They spread. And one day, you look around and realize kindness didn't just help the town. It took it over. If this story touched you, subscribe and stick around, because the next one might change how you see people forever.